Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Planet X. I can't remember the name of whatever fake name that they gave it. I think it's like Moors or Mars, or I don't know. I don't really care. It's Starscream. I can't stress that enough. Some people are like, it's pronounced meh. And it's like, I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, it's pronounced Starscream. I don't care what some third-party company decides to call some random it's like Tauros. Really? You're going to call this Tauros when you put it on the shelf? Or are you going to call it Cliff Jumper? Are you going to call this whatever the hell they called it? Are you going to call it Starscream? Because it looks a lot like Starscream to me. How many people out there put this guy on a shelf and say, oh, yep, that's my Mania King? Or what else? What was the other name that he had? Like Messiah or something like that. It's fucking Galvatron. I call him Galvatron. Half the time I don't remember these third-party names, and I have to look it up. And quite frankly, I don't care. He comes with a crown. He comes with his null rays, and he comes with a mace. So, anyway, this is on loan to me from Matt B, Matt Baldwin. I will put a link to his review channel below. Great guy. He does some good reviews. He doesn't do the transformations, which is really nice. You just kind of get to see this figure, and you get to see, both modes, his opinion of it. A lot of times he'll put it with a lot of other figures, so you can see lots of size comparisons. So he's a good source if you are looking for something that's like, man, I need to know like where this figure is going to fit in my collection, or if I should even bother. So it's nice. They're kind of quick, to the point, concise, and then he does the floor time, which is one of my favorite parts. Is just he's down there, he just messes with the toy and has some fun with it, and yeah. So anyway, so shout out to him for letting me borrow this. I was like, for me, I was sitting there thinking like, man, I kind of want it. I kind of want to know what this figure's about. I'm slowly rebuilding the collection. I'm kind of leaning towards Chug style, but I want a Voyager Seeker. I've done the Raptors a number of times. They're good, but they're underwhelming. And I was like, man, I want to take a look at this. But I also don't want to spend $100 on it just to look at it. And I reached out to Matt, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll let you borrow it. So major shout out to him. Great guy. Go take a look at some of his videos. Give him a subscribe. He's a good guy. You won't be disappointed. But yeah. So here he is in his jet mode. I think I got this right. He didn't send me the instructions. I kind of was going off of pictures. I know I could have watched reviews, but I don't have that kind of time, nor care. It looks like a Cybertronian jet. So yeah, looks good. I can't seem to find any kind of rear landing gear. It's only the front one. I thought these were them, and I just found out that they're a way to lock the arms to the knees, which is kind of cool. A little pointless, but kind of cool. But yeah, looks good. I like it. If you are in the mood for some Cybertronian style jets, like kind of a modern take on the Tetra jets, or if you played the Fall Cybertron games, I don't think you'll be too disappointed with this. Not my cup of tea. I would prefer just a regular jet myself, but I can't lie and say this one is terrible, because I think it's actually looks pretty good. He has, like I said, he's got the null rays. You can plug them down here, or I think the product images have them plugged in up here, but this piece here kind of gets in the way of that, so you'd have to kind of move the arms, but then you'd have to untab the arms from there. So, part of me is like, maybe I got something wrong with the forearm, and you can move it out, but then when you lock that in, there's really only one place for it to go. So yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can remember how to transform it. So take the null rays off, set those off to the side, and let's see, untab the wing section. Just pull that up. I'm just hoping I don't break it or something. Untab these sections here from the arms, and then you can extend the legs down here, and then pull this up. This will rotate in, and accordions down. This is a really stiff joint. This one's not so stiff, but it is nice because it keeps it where it needs to be. And then you can just close this up like that. Close it up like that. Flip down the toe, and then this will just close up on the knee like that. Now this is one of those I can't seem to find. Oh, maybe right back there. And then there we go. All right, so we fold this down. It looks like this little tab section here plugs in behind this. It's hard to show on the camera. So there's a little section right here. Right there. See that little notch in there? This little tab thing kind of fits up back behind there. And just like that. Tab it in. All right. Perfection. That holds in a lot better than I thought. I'm incredibly impressed with it now. like when I first got it out of the box, he sent it in robot mode, and those had come untabbed, and I kept trying to just tab it, push it back together, and it kept, every time I'd bend the knee, it'd come apart, and I was like, that kind of sucks. But that actually is really good. It's holding really well. Feels good. I like it. All right, so arms come out like this. And we can just extend them down. And then, let's see here. We got these pieces here. These will come out. Do they go straight down or do they go upwards? I think they go upwards. So this will come down, and then it just kind of, yeah. I think they tab in, don't they? Should. There we go. They do kind of get wedge in there. It's a little hair raising, especially if the figure's not yours and you're like, oh, I don't want to break it. All right. Fold this out. Let's put the hands down. Got the tool here. In there for a second. All right, so flip these panels here out. This will come in. This comes in. This simply will come down. Let's see, does this? Yeah, this slide down a little bit. It's on a double hinge, so it just comes down. This comes down. And like that. It just goes in like this. All right, rotate this around. We'll go back to all that in a second. So fold this back. This will slide down. And slides down. Let's see here. There's times like this where I kind of like wish I was on Matt's review style. Just the whole like, oh, I could do this off screen and then just kind of transform it and then give you my thoughts on it. That's one thing I really like about it. Let's see here. All right, there we go. So that comes back. This will slide down, right? Back and down. And then these go in. Do I need this? Which way do I need this? I'm so confused. It's very fiddly. I remember that when I was transforming it over, I was like, wow, there's a lot to this thing. Let's see here. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are screaming at the screen, just do this. One second. I'm going to grab my phone and take a look at a product shot. Yes, I'm fully aware that I'm not very good at this sometimes. And I'm sure everyone's going to remind me or agree with me down below because, you know, some people are just jerks. I don't really care. X. Okay. Super helpful. Moores. That's his name. Moores. Okay, so that's what the back looks like when it's done. So let's see if we can figure this out. So this will come in. Oh, these come out. Right? Yeah. Those need to come up. How do those come up? I'm just trying to see where this thing would fold upwards. Ah, there we go. Alright, so those fold up. Alright. Then I know these will come in like this now. Alright. So then we can get the wings like that, and then I don't know what to do with these little wings. Let's see here. See them in a different shot. So they look like what they do is fold in like this. And then this will sit up on top of them. So let's try that. My apologies. I know. Sometimes I'm not very good at this. A little rusty. It's been a while since I've been able to actually do a Transformer review because it's been a light summer. Alright. Now this will go here. I guess I looked at it too long. Now people are texting me. Alright. So this tab in here. This comes here. And then there's these red pieces here. In the back have a little tab here. And they're going to tab into these slots here, I'm guessing. Right there. So you get it lined up. Like that. And I do the same thing over here. Come on. Hard to see what I'm doing over here. I can't imagine how it is looking through the camera, too. Good God, that's tight. It's a tight little fit. Come on. I really don't want to be doing this too hard on somebody else's figure. The other one went right in there with like no problem. There we go. Good gravy. That's not fun. All right. Now we can get the hands out, possibly. Shoulders are those correct now? Yeah. All right. Whew. That was nerve-wracking. All right, so fold this up. That hand came out just fine. This hand is not wanting to come out. There we go. Gracious sakes of live. And there he is in his robot mode. So his head is on a ball joint, so you get the left and right, up and down. That all works good. I think this can tab it in. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now these panels here can kind of rotate a little bit as you needed. Shoulders have a little bit of a butterfly. Up and down, in and out. This will swivel and hinge. Bicep swivel. Double bend elbow. Hands swivel, fingers open and close. You got a waist swivel down here. Hips up and down, in and out. Thigh swivel, nice bend at the knee. Feet are on ball joints at the end, so you get a little bit of a rocker there, a little bit of a tilt, and they do swivel. Accessory wise, he does have his crown, which we can just take this and plug this in right here. And that looks pretty good. You can take his guns and you can plug them into his hands if you want. Or you can plug them into his forearms, like in the show, or in that game. And here. Hands can open, and you can plug in the mace. I think this is why this comes off. So you can just plug it in. And there you go. For size comparison, here he is with Galvatron, and here he is with the Chug Seeker. So yeah, my assessment of the figure is the jet mode looks okay. Robot mode looks great. Transformation is a fucking nightmare. That's not a fun transformation at all. It's not enjoyable. There's a couple elements that are like, oh, that's kind of clever. But overall, it's not enjoyable at all. I wonder if they're ever going to do the cone heads. I know they got the main three plus Acid Storm and Sunstorm. And I think there's a ghost version of this too. But yeah, overall, for rating, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The only way it loses points is the transformation is kind of a bear, and some of those joints are a little squeaky. But other than that, I think it's a really solid figure. If you're into that aesthetic, I think it's pretty good. I think I may be in on this. I'm probably going to pick up the Sunstorm or Acid Storm to see how I like those. I don't know if I'm going to do another review on this mold, though. Well, if I do go all in, go all in on this this line, it might be just an overview at the end when I have them all together and just be like, oh, here's my thoughts on the whole set. But as far as reviewing goes, I don't know, guys. This was a rough one for me. And it's more because things weren't quite working right. Although the backpack was my fault. Overall, though, I do really like it. I think it's a pretty solid figure. I know the design element of the figure of the line had the null rays up here rather than up here like in that G1, which it's one of those like I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. But it is different than the Eye Gear Seekers, that's for sure. Quality wise, some of the joints are a little squeaky, But I've seen some of those iGear Raptors where like the pins are put in like almost sideways into the plastic, so they're like tearing through the plastic. It's guaranteed out of the box. iGear Raptors, you have to do some repairs on them. This one, I don't think it's as necessary. You might have some that you might need to do a little bit tweaking here and there. You know, loosen a joint, grease a joint, or something like that. Like if this was mine, you know, I'd be dismantling a lot of those joints and putting on this speed grease in there to lube those up a little bit. Or just try to see if you know, a couple, half a turn of a screwdriver might loosen a joint. But yeah, the iGear Raptors, they're great. Don't get me wrong. I really like them. They look great. The heads are a little off, but most third-party heads are. But yeah, lots of repairs are needed right out of the box. I mean, you're talking gluing wings up, stiffening joints, tightening screws, loosening screws. There's a lot of work to do in those. I mean, they're good, but for the same price, quality-wise, this one's better. If we're talking like, what are your options for a Voyager Seeker? It really boils down. You have three choices. You've got Planet X, you got iGear, and then you got whatever the hell Hasbro came out with. And they've only done the Starscream as the Voyager Seeker in the Power of the Primes line. No indication of a Thundercracker or Skywarp yet. Although they did repaint it into a Fembot. So who knows? Who knows what they're planning on doing over there. So, I mean, and that figure was crap. So you got a cheap crap option that you may or may not get everybody. You've got Planet X, who's done all the main three plus two of the Rainmakers. I think only two. They may have done a third. I don't know. I'd have to double check. And then you got iGear, who's done the main three, and then the cone heads. So those are your options. You got Planet X on one end, and you got iGear on the other. Both have about 6 molds out, or 6 versions of the mold out. Both aren't G1. You got Neo, and then you got pre-G1, like that Fall of Cybertron style. So it really boils down to, you want Neo with the F-22 Raptors, or Neo with the Fall of Cybertron with more modern or an updated version of the Tetra Jets. For me, I think these are a little too big, but at the same time, I think the other ones were big too. I think I'm in. I do. Unless MMC announces that they're doing one for their reformatted line in the near future. I think this would look really good with reformatted, though. I know they go with the IDW look, and I know Starscream did look like this in IDW for a moment. I think I'm in. God help me. Another rabbit hole. Here we go. But yeah, I like this figure. The more I'm looking at it, like, yes, I was not impressed with the transformation, but the more I'm looking at it with, it's got this metallic blue going on here, the metallic red. The crown even looks good. The face sculpt looks good. I mean, the face sculpt is on point. Now, not on G1 point, but... and I never really played the video games all that much, but I know that this is how he looked in the game because I saw the, trailers a bunch of times. That is just about perfection when it comes to that. I am really impressed with this figure. So yeah, yeah, he's pretty good. I have to say, Crown just makes Starscream just that much better. I'm impressed. I am. More I look at it, the more I like it. I need to get more of these guys. I would love to have a shelf full of all the different colors. I'm gonna Google this real quick. Let's see what we got here. Wow, it's already 30 minutes into the video. Crap. All right, so we got real quick. There is Sunstorm, Acid Storm, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream, and I think that's it. That's all they have on the BBTS at the moment, anyway. But yeah, you know what? I think it's good. I'm gonna bump him up to an 8 out of 10. I like him a lot. Yeah, I think he's really good. Yeah, I'll send this one back to Matt, and then I'm gonna definitely pick up Acid Storm or Sunstorm. That Sunstorm looks so good though. So does the Acid Storm though. Oh, it's gonna be tough. But I'll pick one. I'll order it, get it in. Maybe I'll review that, and then I'll not review them again. Because then maybe I'll have the instructions and they'll go a little smoother. But anyway, Planet X Starscream. I like it. I think it's good. If you're into this aesthetic, you ain't gonna go wrong. Yeah, I guess that's it.